Hello, everyone. Welcome to our joint team call tonight. I am the founder of Team Dare to Dream. Aygun, what's the name of your team?
Team Driven.
Driven and Team Driven. So I think it's interesting to note that we are across the many seas here on this call because Aygun is working her business from Azerbaijan. Right now, right?
You can Google it later.
I've heard of it. I've heard of Azerbaijan. We're going to all practice saying that later. But this is really exciting. Aygun and I met in Florida at Hillary Kelly's leadership retreat. And when we introduced ourselves and got to talking, I was very intrigued by her story. And I immediately asked her if she would be a guest on my team call and share her story. And then, oh, by the way, her team call is on the same night as my team call. So we said, let's do this together. So I thought we would start off with Aygun, and I want to just introduce her. She is a 1-star diamond. She has a 5-year-old daughter, and thanks to Beachbody, she is able to be a stay-at-home mom to her beautiful little girl. And as she said, did you come to the United States from Azerbaijan?
Yes. Well, I have a 5-year-old boy.
Oh, I'm sorry, 5-year-old boy. There you go.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I moved here. I moved to the States 7 years ago after getting married.
Okay.
So I used to live here in Azerbaijan for 25 years of my life. And so shall I get started?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, okay. So I moved here 7 years ago, and I first ended up starting my master's degree because United States did not accept my existing master's degree, and they only took some credit, so I had to start it all over again. And I thought that I would just end up doing my master's, maybe move on to PhD, and because I thought that the best way for me would be continue working at the university, just like I had a degree and I wanted to do all of that, and just that was the only way for me. I never imagined myself doing anything else because I used to be a teacher back home. So fast forward 2 semesters in, for the first time in my life, I experienced something called anxiety. And I didn't know what anxiety was because I'm experiencing all this feeling. So I kind of Googled it, and it turned out it was anxiety. And I remember hyperventilating and hating when I was approaching the campus, the stairs. So I knew I had to quit for the first time in my life. And I'm not a quitter, I'm telling you right here, but it was one of the hardest decisions in my life. So I had to quit college. I mean, it was really hard. And I really didn't know what I needed to do with my life for the whole year that came after that. So I decided, we were married, I decided to have a baby to kill the time. So we had a baby, and fast forward for about 2.5 years, and I came to the point in my life when I was totally losing myself because I didn't know what to do with my own life. I was very happy as a wife, as a woman, as mom. I mean, I had a very healthy baby. I had all the blessings that a woman can ask for, I guess. But everything boiled down to this point where I started crying for no reason. And I guess it was just the starting phases of my depression. I didn't know what to do, really. I was praying a lot, crying a lot for absolutely no reason. Everything literally was perfect in my life except for this one little thing that I just started asking myself, who am I? What am I doing in the United States? I had a big network back home. I had a job. I had friends. I had family. And here I was for almost 3 years doing nothing, literally nothing, except for just reading books. And I'm just disappearing as a personality, as a human being. I'm just nothing but a mom and a wife. And I know, once again, it's a huge blessing, biggest blessings of all, and I wouldn't change that for anything, but I desperately needed to find myself. It was I was in search. So after a lot of, and I had been, here's one thing, you guys, if you don't get some people join you right away. Here I was like a Facebook ghost for 2.5 years. I was watching Hillary Kelly for literally almost 2.5 years. And I can't believe that for all that time, I was literally drooling over her posts. And I was so inspired. Oh my gosh, this is exactly the life I want. I would call my husband every day. Look what she posted. Look what she's doing. Look at how she's changing her life, others' life. Look at how I would find her videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And every single day, I never for a second, never, like even for a split second did I think that I would be a coach, because I thought that this is only something that Americans do. I had an absolutely different cultural mindset, even though I had been here for almost 3.5 years by that time, but I never went to work. I didn't go to college, so I wasn't communicating with any Americans for the sake. I mean, I had 0 people that I knew. I didn't have any network. So I was like, there is a secret that's just probably not even gonna share. I don't know, like these Americans do this, like, follow your dream thing. This is not for me. This is not for me for literally 2.5 years, you guys. It's just ridiculous. And at the same time, I thought that I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't intelligent enough. I wasn't this enough. So whatever, I'm just going to be watching her live this life, until I was just, I was praying a lot. And I just jumped in and signed up without having watched a single video on what the coaching was. I had no idea what the coaching was. I personally, I guess, fell for the lifestyle that I wanted to live. I was so inspired. I didn't know what it took. I knew it was about fitness and health, but I just wanted that lifestyle, and I was going to do whatever it takes to make it work, because I knew I didn't want to be back to college. So fast forward, by the end of my first year of coaching, and I went through a lot of emotions and ups and downs and frustrations and anger, and never once did I want to quit. No, because if there is one thing I knew in my heart, that the business has nothing to do with it, with whatever I was going through. This business is amazing. It's awesome. I went through a lot of learning curve, because I have never worked in this area, and I am as simple and as, I don't want to use the word basic when it comes to a human being, but I was as simple of a person as it gets. I seriously, like, I always say, if I can do this business, anybody can do this business if you're willing to learn. So I went through a lot of learning, through a lot of researching, I didn't have a success partner, right? Like, I literally, whatever I know now, I've learned myself, because like I was just chasing other people and just, trying to learn from their posts. And I've made 100 million mistakes, including such mistakes as emailing, like copy and pasting and emailing some, reply to some person without changing their name first. Like, I've made all of those mistakes. And if you, I know some people are smiling here, but if you made those mistakes, it's okay, after that. But that taught me a lesson. So after that, I was a lot more careful. So, and at the end of my first year, when I was still an Emerald coach, I'm like, what is wrong, what I'm not doing right? Because I thought that, I was the product of the product. I lost 40 pounds with P90X, and I had an amazing transformation, and I was sharing that. And I thought that, like, what's the deal here? Why are these people signing up all these coaches right and left? Why am I just stuck on being Emerald with 2 coaches, and they're like, one of them was quitting, and I was barely finding another one. So so I can stay at Emerald, until one day I literally had to just sit down and tell myself that, Aika, you just think you are doing something, but you're not. When I could hear everyone say and post that you have to speak to, 5 to 10 people every day. Are you speaking to 5 to 10 people every day? My answer was no, obviously. Are you following up with 5 to 10 people every day? Do you have a list that you work from? Do you have this? Do you have that? And everything started for me that day. Like, you have a start day and you have a start day. So everything starts with accepting and admitting and facing yourself and saying, you just not doing what Deborah is doing. So I just had to tell myself, like, Deborah, Hillary, and everyone, Jody, they are signing up these coaches because they are doing whatever this business takes and whatever this business is and the trainings are teaching you to do. And I was not. That is the first step. If you are making some kind of excuses right now, because I was making 100 million excuses. I was a stay-at-home mom. Like, I had not all the time I wanted, but I had quite a bit of time. But I never really worked to organize my time because when you have a lot of time, sometimes you end up being a lot less productive than when you have this one certain 45 minutes and you just do your best and you fit it in and you have that awesome power hour, and I had all this time in the world, but I wasn't still doing much because my head was not in the right place, and I never ever signed up to become a discount coach. My whole intention was to just make this business work, and here I was at the end of my first year, basically just barely making any money and being an Emerald coach. And once I really got mad at myself, because like I'm not a quitter and I really want to make this work, and I'm so inspired and I love this business. Like, why am I not doing whatever it takes? Why am I lying to myself? Why am I pretending that I'm doing a job? It just really, guys, if you have to face yourself, just do it, because this is one of the best things that you will do for yourself, because from then on your business will start building. And I literally just started doing, there is no secret. Like I'm telling you here, there is no secret. Whatever, it just, I'm probably not going to say anything new here that you haven't heard from your coach or from any other coach, but it just takes work. And it literally like really breaks my heart when I see coaches quit, and not just my coaches. Every time on Team on Fire somebody posts, or any other groups that we belong to post about, like, you know, them wanting to quit, or they're just so tired of this job and stuff. It's like I reply to every single person, and I sent them videos that I found on YouTube with the coaches and stuff. So just so they don't quit, because I know firsthand how frustrating the first year, and how the first year really in this business really tries your patience, your abilities, your skills, your it tries your why, you know. It just makes you really think, like, do I really want it? I feel like I know a lot of coaches do a lot and reach a lot and advance a lot in their business, but I guess everyone is different. So I never in my life compared myself against those who quit. Like I had, in being a coach for 2.5 years now, I had seen many coaches post that they're quitting, and never in my heart like did I have a shade of doubt about the business. And I would always say, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't quit. Like I still feel so sorry for those people who quit, not in the wrong meaning, but I like in my heart I feel sorry that they quit, because they are missing out on so much. Not just with the money, take away all of the money that I've made in 2.5 years, which I'm excited to say that in the next 10 months not hoping, but I'm working to getting really close to making 6 figures, and I'm super excited about it. And I can't believe that my son is in the pre-K full time, and I don't have to go back to work. I don't have to search for it. I have all the time freedom. I have financial freedom. We can travel now without budgeting for months and months like we used to for our one trip. And I'm really excited every day to work. I get amazing, wonderful messages from my coaches and from my customers, and just all of my friends who are just not wanting to join are really jealous of me. So loving my job. This job is very fulfilling in many ways. And if you're currently struggling in any way, please know that you will be able to overcome all of that, as long as you know you want it and you hold on to your why. Your why is strong enough. Do you want me to add anything else to this?
Wow.
If they have questions, they can ask questions. I mean, I know I have probably missed most of the stuff that I took notes on, but if anybody has questions, I can.
Yeah, I think you said all the things I wanted to say. So does anybody have, I'll speak though, but does anybody have any commentary for anybody right now? I think that the most amazing thing about what she said is, the conviction that she had, that she knew this is what she was going to do. And,
yes.
And I was so interested that, she thought she never signed up to be a discount coach. And she spent the first year thinking she was doing all the things. She was convinced in her mind that she was doing everything she was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But then she had to look in the mirror. And when she did, she realized, I'm not doing what those people are doing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even now, I will admit, even now, I'm like, being on vacation, I'm like, Ayka, you're slacking. I'm always choosing to be honest with myself. And then I say, like, it's really hard when you have, the 12-hour difference when you are in such a vacation mode. But then you have to admit that, I mean, it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks is not vacation anymore. You have to do the job. And if you don't do the job, obviously you kind of lose that mojo and you lose that momentum. But at the same time, I am so blessed when I wake up on Thursday and I get the paycheck, amazing paycheck. This is a true blessing, you guys. I don't know. And even if you struggle right now, pretend that you are starting all over again. I learned that from Shalene from doing Turbo Fire. When you do the HIIT workout at the very end, she's like, this is your last one. Pretend that you just started. Like, what would you do when you're excited, when you're just starting and you have all the strength? Pretend that you just started. A lot of times I pretend, okay, this is my first day of coaching, what I would do. And also don't forget that we all start in different places. I know everybody's personality is different. I can't even believe I've come this far, because I know that I had this, like, I literally was a ghost on Facebook. I had zero people. You know how they say when you sign up as a coach, build all their connections, find the people from your college, from your school, and start building connections back with people. I didn't have any of those people. I had 0 followers on Instagram. I didn't even know what Instagram was. I opened my account and I now have almost 14,000 followers. I had no like page. All of my friends, literally 99.9% of my friends were either back home in my country or somewhere in the Europe, so I could not sign anybody. I have a absolutely different culture and absolutely different mindset. So I had to go through and over all of those issues before I kind of started finding myself in this business. But never once did I want to quit, because I know how amazing this is. And I always told myself, do not compare yourself against those who quit. Compare yourself against those who have made it. These are just simple, regular people just like you. Maybe some of them have some education in the business or marketing or sales, but most of them are stay-at-home moms, because I used to listen desperate to all the national wake-up calls and stories. So I knew these were just regular women just like I was. So if they can make it, I can make it. Never again. Never. Just if somebody quits, if somebody struggles, just try to help them with your comment, with your whatever, you can share with them at that moment, but never think to quit, because you will be missing out on a lot.
Right. You want me to go?
Yeah. So Deborah is 8-star, 10-star qualifying. Yay. So happy for you. So I met her, and I remember I was looking at you at the leadership retreat, because she's really beautiful. I mean, she has this hair and this air about her, and she has super strong, fit body. And so she used to be a corporate executive. She has 3 kids and 3 dogs, been married for 20 years. Yay. Marriage goals too right here, not just rank goals for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this goal. I'm excited to hear what you're going to say.
Well, I really couldn't say it any better than what Aygun said. I mean, one of the things that, people want to know is, how do you get to be, how do you build a 6-figure income in this business? How do you, can people really do it? And I don't know about you, but you may get, kind of those, when you talk to your friends, I mean, do you feel a little uncomfortable about it? I mean, I know I used to. I mean, in fact, I'll give you a little background about me. I come from corporate America, and literally I just had, that Time Hop app, Time Hop.
Yeah.
I got a picture that was 5 years ago that popped up on Time Hop, and it was a message from Kelly Nyforth, who is my sponsor. And she messaged me and said, how long have you been doing Insanity? So Kelly was doing what we all do, right? Just meeting people. She saw me somehow, maybe in an Insanity page. She came to my page and just commented on my page. And we, kind of struck up a conversation. 1 year later, I signed up. 1 year. And back in the day, there weren't challenge groups, there weren't challenge packs. So it's not like Kelly and I were in a challenge group together and we were hanging out like we do today. I mean, today we're literally like together almost every day with our prospects and our customers. I mean, Kelly might have messaged me every so often, but it was like, she was kind of just there, right? 1 year later, I signed up. And when I signed up, I remember I had to kind of like promise my husband that this was just like, I just really wanted the discount because like I said, I was a corporate exec and he was like, you're really busy right now and you don't have any extra time and you're already super stressed out and super unhappy. But, like you're already a crazy raging maniac, you're going to take more out of your plate. I really don't think that's fun. And I'm like, oh, no, I'll just do this. Well, unbeknownst to him, when I signed up back in the day, they had like a business starter kit. So I thought I was looking at picking out I was going to get some Shakeology. I was going to get Chilean Extreme. And I saw that when I was checking out, it said, do you want to upgrade to this business starter kit? And I was like, well, I might as well. It's discounted. I'll save some money. So I got that. I didn't tell him that I got the business starter kit. And when I did my first call with Kelly, I even told her, I said, I'm really super busy and, I don't have time for this. So, I'll just be getting the discount. Well, in the next few weeks, Coach Summit occurred. And I was sitting at my computer watching Coach Summit happen. And I just remember thinking my big attraction was working out with the trainers. So for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I so badly want to work out with the trainers. I want to do this. And I'm like, that's what I want. I used to be a dancer. I used to teach fitness. And then I had my kids. I got started in my career and all of that went away. Just like Aygun said, I lost myself. It's like I was just, in this job that was sucking the life out of me. I was a wife and a mother, which amazing. Like she said, amazing. But I had no sense of me. I had no purpose. I had no vision for my future. I became an alcoholic and I just basically wanted every day to be done. It's like, just be done. I just want to be done. I had no hope for the future. I looked at the next 20 years of my life and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe this. I have to do this for 20 more years because I had been doing what I was doing for 20 years, right? So when I saw this happening with coaches, I was just like, wow, that's kind of what I would really love to do. And I messaged Kelly and I said, when you get back, I want to talk about it.
Go to bed.
So I started just kind of,
what have you done?
Getting involved in the accountability groups that she was running. And at the time, and again, background on me, I'm a total introvert. I'm not a social person at all. I'm not a great conversation maker. In a group, like at those events we had at the leadership retreat, I don't really know what to say to people. I kind of tend to stand for myself. I have to make myself go and engage because I've learned over time. I've learned that skill, but my natural inclination is just to kind of sit back and stand back and kind of wonder when it's time to go. I don't have a large social circle. I've always, ever since school, I've always kind of had one best friend. So when I tell you that when I started, I didn't have people that were just clamoring to join up with me. Most of the people that I knew were my colleagues. Well, when you're politely asked to leave your job, and I will tell you it was over Beachbody, you kind of lose all those friends, right? It's like you're not really the most popular person anymore. They kind of want to distance themselves from you. So really all of my 20 years of relationship building, all I did was work and family. That's all I did. It was all gone. So, but I did know how to use social media. I knew how to get around on Facebook, but I was very private. My Facebook page was locked down tighter than Fort Knox. You couldn't see my page unless you were like my best friend. And then I would, if you friend requested me, I'd have to go and look. It was super private. So I had to learn to open myself up. And I can say that I've been a coach for 4 years now. And what I've learned through personal development and through networking with other coaches, they say that you're most like the 5 people you hang out with, right? Take a look at who you hang out with. And, through Beachbody, I don't hang out live and in person with all of you, but I do hang out with you now. And that's what helps you grow. The thing that I see happen is when coaches start to feel like they're floundering, they pull back. They withdraw from their coaching network. They stop talking to their sponsor. They stop engaging on the team page. You personal message them to say, hey, how's it going? They don't respond. They start pulling back. That's the worst thing you can do. And that's what our challengers do too, right? You can see that happen in your challenge groups. Whenever, somebody might be engaging and then all of a sudden they get really quiet and you message them and they don't respond and basically they've fallen off the wagon, so to speak. So, I've always stayed in touch with my coaching network, and I've surrounded myself with the vision of what the leaders have. Because right now, as wherever you're at in your business, you have to believe in something you can't tangibly feel. You can see other people, it happening to other people, but most of us, right, we have this idea that, oh, that's for those people, whatever it is, whether it's movie stars or, millionaires, whatever, like, oh, that's for them. That's not.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
But with Beachbody, it totally is for you. I mean, not that I would want to be, but Kim Kardashian's life. I mean, oh, that's for her. Her millionaire, that's for her. With Beachbody, it's all completely within our reach. It is our opportunity to make a difference, which I don't know about you. I used to sell gasoline and diesel fuel. I mean, I didn't sell it personally, but I marketed it. Not exactly a warm and fuzzy job, right? You're basically marketing the product everybody loves to hate. I did not feel good about what I did. It didn't make me feel good. It didn't make me feel like a better person. So with Beachbody, we have the opportunity to do something that makes us feel good. And then we also have the opportunity to make an amazing income, which helps our family. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but with the coaches that are hitting the Millionaire Club and stuff like that, it's not that they're just out buying more stuff. I mean, they might buy a nicer car on that, but they really do a lot of giving back. I mean, I know there's a group of top coaches, ladies that go on mission trips every other year. And that's my goal, is to go on that mission trip with them. I've always wanted to do that. I mean, so it's not that we just want to make a lot of money so we can just, roll in our dollar bills. I mean, it's so that we can make more of a difference in this world. That's at least from my perspective, that's what I see happen. And that's what I think is so cool when we surround ourselves with you guys, because that's the kind of people we are. That's the kind of people I think Beachbody attracts. If you want to just go sell stuff, if you just want to make a quick buck and, there's other, compensation plans, if you want to, get a car whenever you hit a certain level, then there's other companies for you. I don't know about you, but I'd rather get money so then I can spend it on whatever I want. And if I want a new car, I can get a new car. But basically, I just want to make sure, I remember when I was a new coach and it was hard. I mean, the things that I know now about building relationships, like I said, relationship building does not come naturally to me. In fact, I kind of spent the last 20 years at my job feeling like the reviews I got often from my boss was that, you are very, you have a very unapproachable air about you. That was the nice way. And then the not so nice way was like, people think you're a bitch. That was what I got all the time. So, think about, you are what you think about, right? And a lot of times we what people tell us about ourselves is what we start to think. So I truly thought I was an unlikable person. I'm just unlikable. So to think that I am now in the relationship building business, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, this is so crazy. It's so crazy cool, because I don't feel like I'm unlikable anymore, because I am now being unapologetically me. I'm not trying to be what somebody else says I need to be in corporate America. I'm being me. And you know what? I found out that people kind of like me. And again, for me, growing up, I was shy. I was highly introverted, awkward, and I've never been a relationship builder ever. I've always thought that people just didn't like me. And now that I know what I've learned about relationship building, I don't feel that way anymore. I mean, it's changed me from the inside out, and I feel confident. I mean, I'm still kind of uncomfortable, like at that leadership retreat. I kind of, hang on to the person that I came with, and I feel a little awkward. But it's funny because Kelly Nyforth, she said, when you get to that party, I want you to go and meet and talk to coaches you don't know. Well, here's something you need to know about me. Ever since I became a coach, I've always done what my sponsor told me to do. So Kelly said, you got to do that. I'm like, okay. So I got to that party, and I'm kind of like, oh my God, there's all of that team over there, and I don't know any of them. And I'm like, and I said to the people, the other coaches that I came with, I said, well, we're supposed to go meet new people, so I'm going to go do that. And so I did. I made myself go do that. But it doesn't come natural to me. So, wherever you're at, I mean, most of the coaches I know are introverts. And so if that's the kind of person you are, if you don't know a lot of people, if you don't, I hear this all the time from coach prospects. I don't know anybody that would want to do this with me. And I'm like, and no matter how many times I say that doesn't matter, they just keep telling me that. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, especially I think for an introvert, building a business like this on social media is the perfect thing. Perfect thing. Yeah. I mean, we've certainly got extroverts, and a lot of them might be like the ones that are out there doing fitness classes and stuff like that. And they're out in the community, and they have tons of local coaches. I don't have tons of local coaches. I have more Facebook coaches, So anyway, so that's just a little bit about me. I think, I remember struggling every month. I mean, the first month that I was a coach, I mean, I didn't hit Success Club my first full month as a coach, or my first, I signed up, I think, on May 29th, and I did not hit it in June because I was still trying to figure things out. And back then we did not have the kind of training we have today. And I remember once I understood what it was and that it was something for me. I mean, at first I thought, I'm a new coach. That Success Club thing, that's for people that know what they're doing. But then again, my leader said, no, this is for you. This is you. Your name is here. You go do that. So I started making that be my goal every single month. And I am a Success Club 10 legend. I've hit Success Club, I think, 43 months in a row. So I think that's what it is, 40 something. And once I started hitting Success Club 5, I set my goals a little bit higher, and I hit Success Club 10. And then once I started hitting 10, I hit it. I've never stopped hitting it. So I think part of that is, you've got to believe. You've got to have non-negotiable goals. And that's what I've always had. To me, making Success Club is not an option. It's something that I must do every month. And when I was a newer coach, it took me the whole month to get those 5 points. And I can remember being the last hours of the day, struggling, just like you guys do today. Like, where is that point going to come from? And then it was 1 point for Shakeology HD, 2 points if you signed a coach. There was no challenge packs. So most of my Success Club points were coming from Shakeology HD. So it was 1 point at a time. And then you also had to sign a coach to make Success Club. So typically I probably had 3 Shakeology customers, and then I had 1 person that signed up as a coach. And I don't even know where they came from. I mean, my first 2 coaches were my husband and my mom. I think my third coach, that I needed to hit Success Club, that followed, like the second month was like one of my very dear friends. And then like the third month, I think it was one of, a former person I used to work with, again, a vendor, and I knew she was wanting to lose weight. So it was kind of like that. But it just built it slowly. And the message is, like I said, there's no secret to this. It's completely, we want to get on these calls and we want to listen to coaches and they're going to tell me something different. Have you ever noticed that they really don't tell you anything different? They tell you got to meet new people every single day. You got to be a product of the product. You got to do your personal development. So let me speak real quick about that. The importance of those things. Inviting. One of the most important things you can do every day is meet new people. For me, going from 200 or 300 Facebook friends to almost 4,000 right now. And then I have over, I think, 16,000 likes on my like page. That happened because from day one, since I talked to Kelly and she gave me this list of things I need to do every day, I have been doing those things every day. And I mean, every day. I mean, today I have little play days and stuff like that. But when I was building my business, I worked every single day. Saturday, Sunday, I would do my list. I would meet those new people. I would invite people to challenge groups. I would talk to people about the business opportunity. You know, mostly it was discount coaches. I mean, I didn't have any business builder coaches. You know, it was all discount coaches because I didn't know how to present the business opportunity very well. I didn't have what you guys have today, which is sneak peeks and live biz ops and stuff like that. So I just did that every day, and I still do that today. I still invite. I still add new people. When I see that my pipeline is starting to get a little thin, I know. And I can look in the mirror and I can see what I didn't do the month before. So here's my message. And I said this to my team the other day. You know, you're a new coach, and some people are going to start off really strong because maybe they have, more of a network of people that are ready to go. Others of you are going to have to do it very organically, just like I did, just like I did, very organically. Just put yourself out there and one by one. But you do those things that you're told to do every single day, whether or not you think it's working or not. And I had the same approach as when I left my job after 6 months of being a coach, that's when it came to an end. And the job that I didn't like, I was still very shocked. And you grieve. I mean, when you've been somewhere for 20 years, you grieve. But I was also kind of like, after the pain, whereas, like, wow, it's almost like I was pushed through that door that I was afraid to go through, right? Because, I think, gosh, if I would never have had that push to the door, I'd still be dabbling around, like, I wonder when I should leave. I wonder when the best time. So when I got pushed to that door, I knew that I was not going to go back. I knew I was not going to go back to corporate America. And when I told my husband that, I know he was very unsettled because we are a 2-income family. Both of us made 6 figures. That's the lifestyle that we had. And to not have that anymore is like, so what I had to do, I pushed that financial cushion that the company had given me. They really wanted me to go away really bad, I can tell you that. And I had about a year to work on building my business. So I was very, very fortunate. But I still had to do the same things that I was doing when I was working, which was I'd get up and I'd do my work. And then I was kind of like, well, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? All this time. So that was a big challenge. But that was my why. My why was I am never going back. I have to make this work. I am going to make this work. And it was tough. I mean, there was times during that year when I didn't know. It's like, it's not happening as fast as I want it to. I want to be making that 6 figures and I'm not. And that money, that cushion is dwindling away. And my husband's like, well, what's your plan B? And I'm like, I don't have one. I can go get a job at Hallmark maybe and, to help bring in some money, but I don't have a plan B. It was tough, but you kind of get this, you're doing what you're doing, you're building, and then you start to get some momentum. And that's what I want you to think about is, again, some of you start off fast, some of you start off slower. I wasn't a fast starter, but you do get to a point where you build momentum. Today with my business, I have a pipeline that's constantly full. I've always got, pretty much if I want to sign up a coach, I can sign up a coach. I got people waiting in the wings. I'm a diamond. My husband's a diamond. My mom's a diamond. I made all of us diamonds. And my second business center is a diamond. Once I hit diamond, and that took me about 8 months, and it's hard. It's like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to happen? And then once I hit diamond, I was going for 2-star. And I had two coaches that went diamond. But after the 2-star, then I start looking at 5-star. I'm like, oh my gosh, because still I didn't have a ton of really driven business builder coaches. So I was like, well, there's my husband over there. I'm gonna work on him. I got my husband and my mom to diamond like within a month, seriously. Because once you know how to do it, you do it, right? And you have a pipeline. It's just like Success Club. In my opinion, once you learn that you can make Success Club, you should be making it every single month. It should never be an in and out thing, ever. And so the same way with the diamond. And then I made my second business center. And then when my daughter signed up, I was all along thinking, well, when I sign my daughter up, then I'm gonna make her diamond and I'll have another diamond. Well, she set me straight. She said, Mom, I kind of want to do this myself. And that was really like one of my proudest moments, because I was like, it was a relief to me, because I'm like, man, it's hard, I'm carrying all this weight of all these, but it's great. I would much rather have my diamonds be you guys, the people on my team. That's what my prayer is. Just like I said, I want you guys to experience what we're experiencing. The joy of, not having to worry about money, the joy of not having to worry about your time. I spent 3 hours at a doctor's appointment with my parents the other day. It wasn't a lot of fun. Doctor's appointments aren't, but I didn't have to worry. I just did it, Didn't know it was going to take 3 hours, but it did. Oh, well. Today I spent, 3 hours of getting my hair done. And then I went to a movie with my mom. She retired a couple years ago. Is that like putting everything right where it should be, at the right place at the right time? That I'm doing this business and living this life when she retired, so that we can be together and I can spend time with her. Everything happens for a reason, and these are blessings. You have to be courageous. Doesn't mean you're not lacking in fear, because we all know that courage can only exist in the presence of fear, right? So it's okay to be afraid, but prove to yourself that you're courageous, that you're going to do it. It's not always easy. I tell you, I still don't love, talking to random people about the business. That's kind of uncomfortable for me. And I sign an average of 10 coaches a month, but I do it because that's my job. There are some days when this feels more like a job than not, but the blessings and the benefits, and when I'm out playing around today, I was like, it's okay. It's not easy, but it is simple, and it is worth it. And so that's, I just want to kind of pump you guys up and give you some vision. Ike and I started with 0 coaches, 0 customers. I can remember when I got my first $30 paycheck, and I was like, I would literally look in the online office like almost like every hour to see if somebody had bought anything, and then I'd see, I'm like, and I can remember when I told my husband, I made $100. And I can remember when I was so excited that I couldn't sleep. And my daughter told me that the other day. She's like, Mom, I couldn't sleep last night, and I got up at 3, and then I got up at 5, and I was just so excited about all the conversations I had the day before. And I was like, I remember that. So get excited about what you're doing. If you've been a coach for a little while and you kind of feel like, Get excited again. That's exactly what I could say. That's what I said. I don't have anything new to say. Get excited about this again. You know, and don't forget your personal development. That changed my life. I would not be where I'm at today if I hadn't started doing that. And I didn't want to do it. I don't like to read those kinds of books. But I did it because I was told to do it. And, you know, I meet a lot of coaches, and I have them on my team too, that think they're going to be the exception to that personal development rule. Oh, I don't have to do that. I can do all the other stuff. I don't have to do that. How's that working for you guys? Why don't you try it our way? Why don't you try it the way all the people that have gone before you have done? Do what you're told to do, and it will work. If you're not building your business, you aren't doing what you're told to do. You aren't. It's just not possible. It's all about kind of a numbers thing, right? The more people you talk to, the more people you ask, the more people you build relationships with, yeah, you're going to get more no's, but you're going to get more yeses. If you keep yourself in a small pool, the statistics, the percentages are smaller. So the business works. That's the one thing we need.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to feel bad about themselves and say, well, then I must be a failure. But I want you to look at yourself honestly, like I could do, and say, I'm not doing it. I fess up. I'm not. But
and I really think that it's not feeling as a failure. I think it's being brave and it's being like courageous to face yourself and say that, you know, I'm not doing this, but I want this. And so what can I do? Like chase your upline. Chase, if your upline is not there, if she's not doing anything, then chase other coaches. I found that so many coaches are ready to help, even if they don't know you, if they see you that you want to work. It's just like with our downline coaches, when we see that they want to work, we do anything for them.
Yeah.
So never be afraid to ask. I am a complete 100% introvert. This girl right here. My sister the other day told me, I cannot believe you are doing this job. You are doing this kind of job. And I want to tell you this, skills, you can sharpen those skills so well. The other day we had a relative come meet us, and I have never met her. She's a relative on my husband's side, and they all left, like, you know, because they're like, I don't know, my relatives don't have the conversation skills. And I realized after I got done talking to her that I formed her just like that. I literally formed her. Even my mother-in-law said that, I think you used your whatever skills that you learned in this job. I literally did. I didn't even realize that.
And it really is helpful for the introverts like us to when we can go to social gatherings and we can just form, not about Beachbody, but forming isn't about Beachbody. It's kind of like a formula for how to talk to people, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of, I don't know, just wanted to share with you guys. I love the opportunity to get you guys pumped up. And I too believe that why wouldn't anybody want to do this? None of my best friends have signed up as coaches. None of them. And I get together and I hear them talk about how they hate their job, and then they get a new job and they hate that job, and you know, and they get laid off, and I'm like, over here, we got enough right now. They want to go, but then they go back into the workforce and they're so excited because they got a job, and I'm sitting there going, mind numbing. But you know what? Not everybody's as courageous as we are. Not everybody wants to work the way that we have to work, which is got to be self-motivated. You're your own boss. Some people will really just rather do what their boss tells them to do, right? You know, with us, there's nobody making us do it. And that's the last thing I want to say. Do not expect your upline to pull you along. I've done that a lot over the years. I've pulled because a lot of times I see coaches have so much potential. I'm so excited, and you know, I'm just I don't do that anymore. You know, I make myself available. I make my help available. You got to reach out and take it. You got to own it. Got to reach out and say, just like I said, I need help. I want, and not just I need help in a random way, but I am ready to do this and I need help on this. And then you own it. And then you take what you're told to do and you go do it. And then you come back and say, okay, I did that. Now what? You know, you don't expect us to reach out and grab you and pull you along. You are CEOs of your own business, whether or not you're a brand new coach or a tenured coach. So
yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy to quit. Quitting is the easiest thing.
yeah.
But making this work is not easy, but it's doable. It's just constantly telling yourself that, okay, if Deborah did it, if Ayka did it, if Kelly did it, if everybody, like, read their stories, find out how they did it. And if they did it, so can you.
Yeah.
It really takes the courage just to say that, okay, this is not working. What is working? What can I do differently? It's not about the business. It's about me. It's about what I'm not doing. It's about what I'm not willing to change to make this work.
And that, my friends, we have kept you for almost an hour.
Oh my gosh.
So we're a joint team call. So we had to, do some joint, but I hope it was helpful. I hope you feel inspired. And if we can do it, you can certainly do it. We are not special. We are not gifted and talented. God did not bless us more than you. We just wanted it really, 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 really bad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? We can stay on for a little bit longer. If you need to go, you can go. But if anybody has questions, we have chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. Nobody ever has questions. The person,
Go ahead, you guys.
the person that asks a question is always my favorite coach of the day.
How long did it take for you to get to notice, like, okay, so I hate my job right now. Like, just like you talked about, like, you meet the people that hate their job, and I do not like my job. And I find it struggle. And I remember telling, every time Ayka called me, I would tell her, I'm so busy. You have no idea. I'm so busy. And I am busy, but I don't want to, even though I so could use it as an excuse, I don't want to use it as an excuse. Mm-hmm. And I've been trying, early morning hours, late night hours, just like losing sleep to just do something. I haven't yet figured out a system, but like, how long did it take you to figure out your system of like, okay, I'm doing this today. I've got, all these things planned. I feel like I have all these ideas and they're just like rambled in my head. And I don't know, I guess I don't know.
Well, you have a list. You have a list. That's your system. That's your list. Here's your, whether it's a business activity tracker or a power of 3 or a power hour or whatever you guys call it on your team. That's your plan for the day. And so, I would get up early in the morning because I was so excited. I couldn't sleep. And I would do, I'd get some Facebook posts out, I'd answer messages, I'd, hit up some new people. And then on my lunch hour, which I never take one before, which I was a VP, so it was not really, acceptable to leave the office, right? But I did. I started doing it. I'm like, I deserve a lunch hour. I'm going to do it. And I would do some stuff on my lunch hour. And then when I got home, like after dinner or before bed, I would do some more things. But, I didn't do a lot of extras because I didn't know what to do. So I wasn't, working on a like page. I didn't have a blog. I wasn't doing graphical masterpieces with all my photo apps. I didn't have any. I was just, doing the basics. So if you've been a coach longer, I have, Patty works a full-time job. I have one of my dear friends, Jen Arias, just hit 2-star diamond, and she works a full-time job. She has 2 little boys. So you've got to have your list. And then, if you have ideas and plans, then write them down. And then you just have to stick to it. I even suggest that you turn your phone on and time yourself and say, okay, I've got 30 minutes to work on this. And don't get distracted with, that's not your time. If your 30 minutes is to work on this project, to do some training or work on your like page or whatever, then that's all you do. Turn off the rest of your stuff. Don't answer messages. Tell your family, I'm going to be working on this, and do it.
Yeah, I think I struggle with, I see someone message me and I feel like I
do too.
Message them right back because they're going to think I don't care,
I used to do the same thing. And because you're so excited and it's like, oh my gosh, if I don't answer them back, they're going to do something else.
Yeah.
I understand that. I totally do.
So
but
what would you say if you, so, you know, the 3 vital behaviors, and I tend to do a lot of personal development. What would you like, and I lack, it's crazy. I lack so much time, but I spend a lot of time on personal development. So what would you say that that's the number one thing to put all my time in compared to, I guess, the others, you know?
you have to be balanced. I mean, it's just like, you know, there's people I see that just do so much training. I mean, they join every accountability group and they go to, you know, they go to this training and that training, but they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I did that. I went through a period where I was going to, like, I went to Sandy Krakowski and I went to Danny Johnson and I was doing I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I like, my business wasn't growing. I was just spending money because I wasn't implementing what I learned.
Yeah.
So that can be a crutch. You can tell yourself, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, but you got to be balanced. So that's why I say time yourself. Okay, I'm going to spend, you know, maybe you don't do your personal development until you get these other things done.
Okay.
I was that person who wasn't applying stuff. I remember until I didn't realize that till one coach pointed out to me. She's like, Aika, it's not that you don't know stuff, and it's not that you're not willing to learn it. It's just you're not applying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I get excited about reading all these books, and they tell you, okay, write this list and do this, and I get excited about it, and then I don't actually do the thing. I just go to the next book and go, okay, what else can I learn? But I don't do it. I don't know. I guess that's my problem. I don't know.
Well, and I hear that a lot from people. They're like, oh, you know, I'm so busy at work. I just don't have, and I'm like, because I hate my job. I mean, that's why they sign up to be a coach, is because they wanted to do something they loved and they really don't like what they're doing. But yet they keep using their job as an excuse. And I'm kind of really intolerant of any excuse.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be unfeeling. I mean, but I look at Katie Ersta, and she built her business while she was going through chemotherapy. I mean, so, you know, there's everybody's got stuff.
Yeah, that's where I get back.
You can choose.
Yeah, I would tell Ike all the time, you know, I'm so busy, I can't do it. I'm so busy. And I think, you know what, if you really want this, you make time. You just do it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I don't want, you know, whenever, like in my accountability groups, whenever I'm like, okay, what's going on? People will, they'll tell, oh yeah, I've just been, and they'll give me this litany of things that they've been doing all week. And as a person, if we were chatting like over coffee, I would love to hear all that. But in our business setting, I'm just kind of like going, I don't care to know that, because so does somebody else. Somebody else had that same thing and they got it done.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. I'm just
oh no, that's
no, I'm telling my team, I'm like, sorry, I don't want to hear that.
yeah.
We all need to hear that.
Lunch, but not when we're in business. So
I shared the call that you did with Jody, with my team, about that you start with you know, some people think that it takes like 4 years to build the 6 figures, but they spend the 40 years. I remember that call that you did with Jody, and I shared that with my team, and I absolutely loved how you were to the point, like a no BS, no excuse kind of stuff, and you just chug, and all of my team loved that call. Yeah, you just chopped it all. I'm like, you know, just do it.
Just do it. All right, guys. Well, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Thanks for asking a question. So I'm going to say goodnight so that I can go eat dinner. I haven't even had dinner yet.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for doing the call. I will be waiting for the recording.
Yes,
please,
thank you for doing the call and sharing your story. I'll talk to you
Hope
guys.
it helped. Bye.
Thank you.